Hey friends, welcome back. Today we are making tofu peanut sauce noodles. We're gonna do this in 3 steps: prepare, cook, and finally, let's eat. Let's dive into making some yummy tofu peanut sauce noodles. First, we need to press the extra firm tofu to squeeze out some moisture. This helps the tofu soak up more flavor and get nice and crispy when we cook it. While that's happening, let's heat up the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. A hot oven will nicely roast our veggies and tofu. Next up is the peanut sauce. I take 3 cloves of garlic and chop them up. Normally, I'd use a mortar and pestle for this, but I'm feeling a bit lazy about the cleanup today. So I just chop up the garlic, then press it down with the flat side of my knife, dragging it outwards until it turns into a nice paste. Once I'm done, I put the garlic in a bowl. So after the garlic, I move on to the ginger and apply the same technique. I take about a teaspoon of ginger, scrape off the skin, and mince it up nicely. Then I press it down with the flat side of my knife, dragging it outwards until it forms a smooth paste. Once I've got that done, I scoop up the ginger into a bowl. Now I add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, followed by 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Alternatively, you can even have a mix of dark and light soy sauce for a little extra flavor. Next, I pour in 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar for some tanginess, and then add 2 tablespoons of tahini, which is sesame paste. It really makes the sauce creamy. I also add a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil for some nice aroma. Finally, I throw in a 1/3 cup of smooth peanut butter, which amps up the nutty goodness. Time to mix everything together. I might be getting a bit carried away with my hand blender, but I just got it for Christmas, so I thought I'd give it a try. If you don't have one, a whisk works just fine too. As I blend, I add a little bit of water, little by little, until the sauce is just the right thickness. Once it looks good, I set it aside. Next, I chop up 3 medium-sized peppers into big square chunks. I chose red, yellow, and orange to make the dish bright and colorful, but you can use any colors you like. I put the chopped peppers in a bowl, and then slice some onions into large pieces, separating the layers to mix them in with the peppers. Fun fact, did you know that peppers have more vitamin C than oranges? So not only making the dish colorful, it also makes it super healthy. To season the veggies, I lightly coat them with olive oil, sprinkle in some black pepper and salt, and give everything a good mix. The oil helps keep the veggies from sticking to the pan while they roast. I spread them out on one side of the baking dish and pop them in the oven for 10 minutes. I set a timer so I don't lose track of time. While those are baking, let's check on the pressed tofu. It's ready to be cut into bite-sized cubes. I try to make them about the same size for even cooking. Tofu can come in different sizes, so I just eyeball it first on how to get even pieces before cutting, which helps everything cook more evenly. Once they're cut, I toss the tofu cubes in a bowl and coat them with olive oil, making sure every piece gets covered. Then I season them with salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder, mixing gently to coat them well. Now I add some cornstarch. This helps the tofu get nice and crispy. I add just enough to lightly coat the cubes. When the timer beeps, I check on the veggies. I give them a gentle stir, and then on the other side of the baking sheet, adding a little oil and spreading it around to prevent sticking. This side is for the tofu. Then I carefully add the tofu cubes, making sure they have some space in between for even baking. I pop everything back in the oven for another 10 minutes. While that's baking, I get a pot of water ready for the noodles and bring it to a boil. Once the timer goes off for the tofu and veggies, I flip the tofu and give the veggies another gentle stir before putting them back in to roast for another 6 to 8 minutes. Now, let's prepare some frozen edamame. I toss a cup into a pot of water and turn on the heat to boil it. Edamame adds a nice protein boost that we'll mix in later. When the water is boiling, I add the noodles and cook them according to the package instructions. Once they're done, I drain them. Before I put them back in the pot, I add some peanut sauce and then place the noodles on top. Then add a spoonful of peanut sauce at a time to make sure the noodles are evenly coated and mix gently. Once the tofu and veggies are done, I pull them out of the oven, excited to plate everything up. In a bowl, I start with a good serving of noodles, then layer on the roasted veggies and crispy tofu. I finish it off with the boiled edamame and drizzle more peanut sauce. It's time to dig in and enjoy this colorful, delicious dish. Alright friends, thank you for tuning in. As always, happy cooking and stay awesome.